Well, Happy New Year, everyone. January is coming up, and with January and February brings our cold weather. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to prepare for that, just give you a few tips and everything. As always, if you have any questions about anything I say, you're welcome to call me at 601-942-2683. Now, first, before I get into that, I've been doing some studying over the holidays, and I got this certificate, Certified Real Estate Negotiator. I think that's important. That's an important part of my job, and I love to keep learning in order to help represent you better each day. Okay, now let's get into this. What happens when it gets below freezing? Especially when it gets into the 20s, that type of thing. Okay, let's talk about different types of plumbing systems. If you have the PEX system, which is the red and blue wires, obviously red for hot water, blue for cold water, not wires, but pipes. That's a good thing. You don't have to worry about it breaking like copper will. It will freeze, but it expands and contracts, so it won't break like copper does. Now, if you have a ManaBlock system, which is the little port that you can turn off individually, and you can turn off your outside faucets, then go ahead and turn them off. Now, that's not enough though. Once you turn it off, open the spigot, drain all the water out, because you got to make sure that there's no water left in it. Then, once you do that, then you're good to go. If not, if you don't have that option, they make these little styrofoam covers that you can get to cover them up so they won't freeze. I've even seen some people get real creative and take a bunch of newspaper, put it in a plastic bag, and wrap it around the faucet like that. But anyway, they do need to be protected some way or another because they are outside. Now, another issue. People who have the PEX system have called me before to say, I have no water pressure in my hall bathroom or my master bathroom or whatever after it freezes. Well, once again, PEX will freeze just like any other pipe. So, in order to stop that, the night that it's going to be the coldest, leave a hot water faucet dripping and a cold water faucet dripping. Remember, they're on separate terminals. So if you just leave one dripping, the other one's going to freeze. So, leave one dripping. You don't have to drip it much, just a little drip, drip, drip. It doesn't have to be a flow of water, just a drip. Leave that on. Now, if it should freeze, it'll thaw out during the next day, and then you'll have water pressure back again. But it should freeze if you take those precautions. Now, also, just a little added precaution. Climb up into your attic. Look around. If you have exposed PEX lines that are not under insulation, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot. They sell this pipe wrap for like $7 for 10 feet or something like that. It's relatively inexpensive. Get some of that, wrap your pipes, then take electrical tape and wrap that to make sure that they're good to go. Now, also, your vented fireplaces. If you don't use them much until the cold weather, I'm sorry, I said vented, I meant non-vented fireplaces. If you don't use them much until it gets cold, the gas in there is going to go and it's replaced by air. Air will not light. So what you have to do is hold the mechanism in so it will pump gas back into it and then light it, hit the lighter mechanism when you smell gas. Now, something else to think about. With January and February, we've lost a lot of leaves off the trees. chances are, unless you cleaned them out or unless you have a gutter guard, your gutters are clogged with leaves and debris. There's a lot of rain in the wintertime, which means if you don't do something about that, it will rot your soffits and your fascia. So I recommend cleaning those out to make sure that there's a good flow of water, and so that won't happen. Also, another step that you may want to take, check the weather stripping on your exterior doors. You want to make sure that there's no cracks, no breaks in it. Make sure that it fits right and that it seals properly. Even though sometimes it may be hard to close a door, but that's a good thing because you want it to seal tight. So anyway, we've gotten through it before. We'll go through another cold spell. And once again, if you have any questions, 601-942-2683. Once again, thank you for watching my videos.